We should probably shoot some distances on there. You see that honeysuckle right up there? Looks like it's close to a maple tree. The Power Authority's goal back in roughly about 1998 was to establish an IVM program and to get in line with state compliance. The New York State Public Service Commission had put in place back in the 80s that all transmission owners or transmission companies in New York State have a long-range vegetation management program. So the Power Authority wanted to put themselves in that same position and voluntarily comply as a state agency. So that was the beginning of our IVM program. When I came on board in 2003, it was still in the early phases. And I knew coming in that we really needed to kind of push those edges back to where they really should be. So there was some heavy lifts there. We had to do some edge clearing, we had to do some tree removals. But at the same time, I had to get the floor in shape. The floor was fair here and there, and depending on where the work had been done, but it was kind of segmented across the system. So we were able to bring it all in underneath one program, write a very comprehensive long-range vegetation management plan for the whole system. When I came in and started working with the existing system forester, he was establishing a 4-year cycle. Working with him and talking with him, I decided that we should maintain that 4-year cycle instead of trying to either expand it out or shorten it up. It felt like it was a very good fit for the system. In the process of doing that, I had to develop a budget for the following year and for that first complete cycle. So I sat down and developed this budget, which included this heavy lifting or this reclamation that we had to do and basically push our edges out. Our edges were pushed out in some areas, but other areas they weren't. So my goal was to get these right-of-ways established exactly the way they should have been from the beginning. That I was able to complete roughly in about the first cycle, which was the first 4 years, which I added that into the normal routine floor work. After that, I still had to tweak it a little bit and still had a little bit of finessing, if you want to call it that, moving forward into the next cycle. But for the most part, I was able to capture all of that pushback or that reclamation in that first cycle. Let's look back at the system with the 1,400 miles. I basically have 3 regions. I have what we call our central region, I have our northern region, and a southern region. And when I was devising or setting up my management groups, what lines am I going to do each year in my 4-year cycle, it kind of was equal across the board into those 3 regions. So it wasn't like I did the north first and then the south and then the central. It was like I had pieces in each one of those. And when we started doing this, my mindset or the way I operate is if you give me a task to do, I'm going to do it from beginning to end. There's not going to be any jumping. There's not going to be any skipping of anything. So when we started at one substation or one point on the line and we're doing this reclamation, widening them back to the original right-of-way widths, we start at one end and we work all the way to the other end. And that's how we did it. When you think about what's going on out there on the right-of-way with that vegetation, we have such a diverse, rich biodiversity out there. The plant species are incredible, what's growing out on my rights-of-ways. And I don't even know all the plant species. Every day I go out there and get to walk around, I always take a point to get out of my truck and look and see what's there, because I usually find something new, whether it's a new flower or whatever. But when I look at it, I'm managing that vegetation with vegetation. So I'm letting this compatible vegetation do a lot of work for me out there. I mean, when you look at IVM and you seriously understand what integrated vegetation management is and what it's all about, it's really both an art and a science. There's no cookie cutter method going down the floor. It's each span or each different ecosystem or each different little bit of ecosystem difference out there, vegetation types, whatever it may be, is really going to help you determine what really needs to be done out there. You know, where it is on the right of way for certain compatibles and certain non-compatibles. You know, so it's not, let me slap a cookie cutter here and from point A to point B we're going to do this. We're not going to do that. We're going to look at it. We're going to make good, educated, sound decisions on how we're going to do the floor out there. And we're going to eliminate the non-compatible species, promote that really great compatible plant species that we have out here on these rights of way. It's a biological control for us. Think about that for a minute. You know, that biological control it's free. It doesn't cost me anything. If I can promote that and bring that on site, it's going to compete for all those site resources. It's going to keep those other seedlings from jumping in and taking over that site. And it'll help hold that site for me until I get back in 4 years. So it's really a nice, strong, free biological control for me. We're creating this great low-grow shrub, scrub plant community that doesn't exist everywhere out here, and we're maintaining that. And it's great stuff.